So what happened? What happened on the first week that I took Wegovy? I did do a midweek update, but in this following video, I'm going to just share the final results and weigh in for the first week of Wegovy GLP-1 at the dose of 0.25. Please forgive the video quality. I'm going back through my videos and kind of redoing them with introductions. And this particular video I filmed at night because I take my shot at night and I didn't have any extra light on. You could still hear me. So I hope you enjoy it. And as we go along and I catch up revamping my videos, you will see things will start to improve. Appreciate your patience and let's get into it. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie and my channel is GLP-1 and me. This is where I create videos to record the progress I'm having losing weight with Wegovy, which is a GLP-1. I'm 60 years old and I have about 100 pounds to lose. Thank you for tuning in. I am not a physician. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a healthcare professional. And I hope that you can enjoy these videos showing my experience with GLP-1. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Maggie. So the purpose of this channel is just to document my progress and what's going on with me taking Wegovy prescription for weight loss. The last time we spoke was Wednesday morning, which was 3.5 days ago. And I had left off with you guys, how I did up until breakfast of that day. So I'm going to go over my foods and some of the things that happened during that time, as far as my eating habits and maybe what would usually happen and what happened instead, and also some, possible side effects of taking this prescription. I take my shots on Saturday night, and I have my second shot here. And I'm just letting it warm up a little bit because where it fell from where it was in the fridge, and it was kind of in a very, very cold area of the fridge. So I'm just letting it come to room temperature or whatever. I hear that if you take it right out of the fridge and you do your shot, that it can burn. Now, last week I did that and that didn't happen, but I'm all for making sure certain stuff that they say could happen doesn't happen. Okay, so Wednesday I went out to work and we were working, and my son called me and said, and what I do for work, I'm self-employed. I'm a driver for Spark for Walmart, and I deliver food, and I can work as much or as little as I want, and I can leave when I want. So my son had called me and said that the dog was having issues and was looking for advice, and the delivery that I had was going kind of near to my house. So I said, you know what, I'll be home. So I came home, and the dog had some accidents on the floor. He's pretty old, and he has some issues, and so sometimes he has accidents. So I'm the expert cleaner upper. So we came home, and I cleaned them up, did some laundry. I had to go back out for something. When that was all done, everybody was kind of a little bit upset in their own way. And when I typically would get upset or go through something, I would typically think of food. I would think of emotionally eating to calm down, and just start eating stuff. And I had that feeling, but it was like kind of like I had the awareness of having that feeling. So I didn't have the urge that goes with it, and I didn't also have I didn't have anything else that went with acting on that. So it's kind of like, oh, I kind of feel like, I should be eating right now. And then it was kind of like, no, you don't. So that's kind of really interesting because, I don't know if that whole thing is like when you eat to calm down, or when you come home from work and you eat to kind of as a transitional self-soothing mood change. I don't know if that's chemical. Like, I don't know if that's adrenaline. I don't know if that's cortisol. I don't know any of that. I assume there's a chemical thing that goes on. And I also assume that probably um, this prescription dampens that down, which is nice because I had time to think of it. I had time to recognize it. And then I had time to deny it. So I think that was pretty good. We had planned on having cheeseburgers for dinner and had picked them up. And when I was in the store, I was like, oh, we're having cheeseburgers. I had already decided I was going to have the cheeseburger on a bun, but that it was only going to be a single patty because I don't want to overeat and then not feel well. But I was like, oh, we have to get some chips. And then that thought just went right away. Like, it was like, you're not going to get chips. And we left, and, you know, chips didn't happen. Again, typically I could bring home chips and be the only one eating them, and I could eat them all. Or I could have some on my plate for dinner and then go back 4 times to the bag. So, didn't do that. I will tell you the prunes from the day before, they worked. They didn't do anything drastic, but they did what they had to do, or maybe they didn't work and I just didn't have that problem. But I ended up doing those prunes. Okay, so I had some struggles that day because it was very hot and very humid. We've been going through like a week of heat indexes and heat warnings and all of that. So I really can't tell whether that part of that was the heat or part of that was a reaction to the Wegovy. That was Wednesday. Thursday, I did my usual coffee, yogurt with berries, protein shake. I had scrambled eggs, bacon. Scrambled eggs, I only had one out of 2 scrambled eggs. Bacon, I only had one out of 3. So the appetite suppression was really low. Or the suppression was high. The appetite was low. A couple coffees. That night we had I had 2 hot dogs. I ended up realizing that with hot dogs I'm going to have to be careful because they're something that's easy to eat quickly for me. So I'm going to have to just be more aware of that. They were both on buns. One hot dog with a bun with sauerkraut mustard. The other hot dog with the bun and sauerkraut and mustard, I ended up getting rid of the half of the bun, like the top half, and eating it. And I probably ate past full knowingly, but like taking that roll off was my way of kind of making that less worse. So with something like that, I don't know if it's just how I eat it. I'm used to eating them fast and then being very full. So like eating quicker than my body is able to figure out, hey, you're full. So I think I'm just going to, if I do hot dogs again, and I will, I'm just going to have to be aware of that. I'm also thinking of ditching the bun. I don't need the bun, but I really like the bun. But maybe I can get used to not eating it because I'm taking this medication, you know. I just happen to be like a sandwich person, not a knife and fork person. And so that's always bread. Then my son made a pizza that night and I helped him. And so he asked me if I wanted to try it. So I said, you know what, cut a little square around the pepperoni. So I mean like literally like maybe a 2-inch square because I wanted to try it. And that was really good. And I felt okay with it. But then it had me on my mind. I was waiting for it to kick in, that I'd go up and have another taste and go up and have another taste. And that never happened. On Wednesday and Thursday, the 2 days that I discussed, I had something that I call butt burn. It's almost like you have a diaper rash. And what I will say is that with my gastritis problems, I've had that on and off here and there, and with dieting. So could it be fat leaving my body? Yes. Could it be bile from my stomach problems? Yes. Could it be the prescription? Yes. So the jury's still out on that. But truly, that is kind of like an excruciating thing. It's not diarrhea. It's not anything but your butt crack burns. So we'll see. Okay, Friday. Coffee with protein, a breakfast burrito. Now that was one bacon, three breakfast sausage. Uh, I think it had two eggs, but I didn't eat the whole thing, so it ended up being one egg, little salsa in a keto wrap, yogurt, berries, and protein. So that was up more. I definitely could not. Sorry, I just got to plug in my computer. I definitely could not eat the whole thing, and I left most of, oh, not most. I'll say I ate half of all that. I actually think it had like four breakfast sausage, and so I ate three of them. And there was however much bacon, and I ate one of them. My husband does the cooking. If food is good, then a lot of food is better. And, I already told him we either got to switch to small plates so that you have an idea of like really the volume that I want to eat, or I'm just going to keep leaving half the meal on the plate. I really don't want to get into a situation where I've overdone it because I'm used to doing it, or I've overdone it because like the hot dogs I like when I'm eating. So I'm just going to always err on the side of caution right now. Dinner that night was rotisserie chicken from Walmart that my husband picked up, and then put it on a big salad. And when I got home that night, like I was really looking forward to a big salad. We always do like croutons, and we had a cucumber from the garden, lettuce. I had shreds of chicken, tomato, and I asked him not to do it in the usual big bowl. And so he did it in the usual big bowl. And he was like, it's really not as big as it looks. And it was as big as it looked. And I overate. But what I did was eating with a fork, I just stabbed all the chicken and made sure I had chicken with everything. And then it was like stab all the croutons, start picking out the stuff that you like best. I ended up not eating half of it, but I did eat all the protein out of it. And I overate and was a little worried about it. And I ended up getting those little stomach jumps that I was talking about the other day. So I ended up eating like 5 Tums because I was just so worried about something happening. And so with the stomach jumps and then me calling it a night after dinner, I just did the Tums to be careful. This morning, corned beef hash, 1.5 eggs, yogurt with protein shake and blueberry, coffee. And tonight we had kielbasa and shrimp. So the kielbasa and shrimp was done just like a stir fry with some sugar snap peas. And I did have a couple of sugar snap peas, but I didn't really worry about them too much. So what I'll say doing that was that really upped my protein. My protein for today was 109. Previous days was, 74. I don't even know, 51, 42. So those are real low. But I have a couple of days this week that are over 100. So my focus is going to be to try and keep that up. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about as far as like different things that happened and my reactions, emotional eating, physical things like the butt burn, thinking of chips just because you always think of chips. So it's been really good to know that, like, okay, when I'm done eating dinner, I am really actually done. So that was good. Okay, I found these in the store. I was shopping for a customer of Walmart's, and she got these. Sorry. Clio mini Greek yogurt bars. They have 4 grams of protein, and they have 7 carbs and 7 carbs. And they're in the yogurt section, and they're tiny. They're tiny. This is, I don't even know. Let's see. It's 2 inches big. It's like a fun size Snickers, or not the tiny Snickers, but the little next one up. So it's Greek yogurt dipped in chocolate. This is vanilla. They have different flavors. They have strawberry. It's 70 calories. Oh, so that's one thing that I wanted to talk about. So I've been doing this. Let's see. I don't even know if you could see it. I've been doing that. That's how I've been logging it. And it's a mess. So I'm going to change how I do it. I'm going to do 1 day per page on a composition book. I have a bunch of these that I got from somebody at a yard sale. And I had said I was going to just like log my yogurt. Sorry, I'm doing this in the evening and I didn't want that light on. So I had said I was just going to log my protein and kind of just not worry about calories. And that's mostly true. But what I want to do, because we cook a lot of things in butter and bacon grease, and that's part of like the keto, I want to try and start keeping track of calories. Because if things go off the rails, I'm going to want to know why. And I'm going to want to know, oh, well, I've been staying under 1,200 calories, or I've been, whatever I've been doing, I need to know what I'm doing. I'm going to start doing that and, be able to know that for sure that I am, I have my stomach jumps again right now. Be able to know for sure what I'm doing and what the problems might be. All right, so my weight today is 224.4. I started at 229. So I think that's 4.6 down for this week. There's different things. People will immediately say, oh, well, that's water weight. Yeah, but it's 4.6 pounds of water and that you were carrying around that you're not carrying around now. So what I'll say is that for almost the whole week, I think like through Wednesday, my bra and the heat and, I'm needing help getting in and out of it. And, if I hook my bra and then step into it and pull it up, then everything gets all rolled and then it's stuck. And then my husband's got to like smooth everything out. So the one day I just didn't wear a bra. I wore a super huge shirt of my husband's and with a cami under it. And I just didn't wear a bra and I was very happy. Now by the end of the week, I'm able to get in the way I always used to, which is you clip it in front of you and then you shimmy it around and then you pull it up. And I was able to do that, putting it on and taking it off. And so that happened Friday and this morning. So it took a week to see that type of non-scale victory. And we'll see. I hope there's more of that. Yeah, so that's about it. I'm going to take my shot. I'm going to take it in the thigh. I'm going to take it in the opposite thigh than my the first time I did it. So in case you missed the first one, go ahead and do this. So that's what I just took off. It kind of doesn't look right. I guess it is. I didn't pay much attention the first time around. Okay. Here we go. I don't know why I just psyched myself out. Hold on. First click. Second click. It's going in. They say it takes like 10 seconds and then I forget to start counting and then I count. And then I count to 20 because to be sure. Okay, and then there's the, it's all yellow. And that's it. All right, well, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully next week it'll be a little more clear what the ups and downs really are, as opposed to me guessing at everything. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments. I didn't do a disclaimer before, but what I will tell you is I'm not a medical health professional. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a physician. This is just merely me sharing my experience taking Wegovy for weight loss. Have a great night.